Okay, so this is the Regalo swing down double-sided bedrail, right? So we are going to open this and make the rail, and then show you how to install it. Yeah, so these are all the rail parts that we are going to use and create, and this is the thing that we are going to use to protect, right? So let me remove everything and set up, and I can start show you all the instructions on how to set this thing up. Okay, so inside this bag is the manual. Just telling you that you know how where to find it. But I'm going to show you all the instructions. I do want to note that the way it's named, it does not really match what is shown here. For example, this one says this is D, but this one is not D. If you notice, it's actually marked A. So, well, the A is marked as a cloth bag in the manual. So, manual might be confusing. So, I'm just going to show you all the things, which is easier. Okay, so first things first, right? Notice how I have kept it. The two rods are on the floor and this part is up on the top. You want to keep it this way, where the rods touch the floor and this part is up. This is important. Same rods touch the floor and this part is up. You do not want it this way. Right? Notice the rods are not on the floor. There is like space here. You do not want that. If you do this, then you will end up with a lot of confusion. Okay. Another thing that you want is like I have kept both of them right next to each other. So just to show you, right? But you only want one at a time. You're going to create one side only. Same on the other side here. Notice it's opposite facing, but the two rods are on the ground and this part is up. Same here. Yes, and these are marked as B and these are marked as A. I'm only going to create one at a time, so you can make the other one is exact the same thing. Okay, notice these two L-shaped rod, right? One does not have a pin. This goes on the left, and this one has a pin. This goes on the right. So you want to essentially match everything, right? These are the same counterpart. So this one, if you notice, has no such thing, right? But the other one has. So this one is on the left and this one is on the right. And same is for the other gate here. So I'm going to keep this on the side. So you just need this one for the first step. And what you essentially want to do is, notice this, you need to press it inside. This thing you need to press it inside. Notice how I'm doing it. And after I pressed it inside, you notice how this thing went inside. Same on the other side here, right? Notice this thing, you need to essentially press this inside. So, putting it here, and it's done. We have this second step ready. Okay, next I'm going to connect all the three, right? So it took a little bit of finessing and the bottom part is more difficult. So put this here, and then at the same time try to adjust this one here. Notice all the three are inside, right? Next, press this and put it little bit inside. Second, press this and put this little bit inside. Third, press this and put this little bit inside. Yep. Notice how all the three of them are, two of them at least are inside. And notice all the three went inside, right? So essentially what you did was you made your second part ready, this whole thing. So you're going to do the exact same thing with the other one. Just follow the exact same step. Matching. Okay? So okay. Next, from this bag, I removed these two things, 1 and 2. So they are the same, both of them are the same. So you know it does not matter much. What I want to, I'm using one now. Remove the Velcro here and unzipping. Okay, and now this thing is kind of ready, right? We are going to slide this inside this thing, right? And essentially the important part is to understand this part is at the bottom so that you know the curved rod is not causing problems. So let's put this thing inside here. And I'm going to make sure that this thing goes inside. Notice it's only connected from one side, so you need to be a little bit careful here as to how you put it in. But it's not difficult. It's not too difficult. Essentially. No, it might be easier to put this thing first in. Yeah. Now this thing is inside. Which means, so try to put it from the bottom first, which makes it a little bit easier, the job. Okay. And next I'm going to make it stand up and I'm just going to slide this thing. Notice how this whole thing just slides in. Yep. Okay, now this thing is ready. Next, you are going to pull it a little bit. Yes, thank you, Vicky. And notice what I'm doing, I'm not zipping it. Let's pull it a little bit more here. Maybe a little bit stretching here would be nice. And I've stretched it. Once again, let me pull it from the other side as well. And now let me just tighten it. Note, you do need to pull it a little bit, but that is expected. Let me make sure that it has a little bit of a support. You definitely need to apply a little bit of a force to stretch it. I'm really trying to pull it in. So notice here, I'm struggling a little bit. It is slowly moving ahead. You don't need to do it once, so it's not like a lot of work, right? As long as you do it once. Yep, and I'm pulling the bottom part as well. Yep. Now let me pull it. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And now I connect the Velcro. And the first step is essentially ready. If you notice, we are going to do the exact same thing on the other one as well. Inside here and then connect the Velcro. Then your kids won't be able to access it, which might be a little bit nicer. So just do that for safety. You just need to do it on one side. Same we are going to do on the other one. Okay, so you can see how I have placed this here. Now this thread can be made big or small. So depending on the size of the bed, twin, queen or king, you can adjust it, right? You can see it's very big for a queen bed. So you can really make it big if you want, if you have a bigger bed, right? So it's possible. Now notice something. These holes here, they are facing inside, right? Holes facing inside, holes facing inside. Same here on the other side. Holes facing inside and holes facing inside. Also on one side you will see A, on the other side you will see B. And when you place it like this, it will automatically happen. On this side here, you are seeing A, on the other side you are seeing B. Now when you look at this bed here, right, I want you to notice something. On one side, notice this silver white colorish pin here. This one, the small one. This is available on one side and not on the other. So this is the guiding pin, right? And what you want to make sure, another thing to notice it says B here, right? So the guiding pin and the B are supposed to help you understand that on this here, the button here which says B, this thing is supposed to go inside. Now let's look at this thing here in detail, right? Notice this hole here, this hole is supposed to be for this pin, the spring pin. And this big hole is supposed to be for the guiding pin, right? Other one does not have this kind of hole because there is no guiding pin in it. And it basically aligns. So notice what I am doing it, right? I am putting in so that this semicircle hole goes into the guiding pin and this big hole essentially goes into the small hole, the circular hole goes into the spring pin. So I am pressing it. And I am rotating it so that it slides in. Okay? And notice as soon as it slided in, I might have to rotate this thing, right? Okay. Next, you want to turn it around and put it inside like this. Notice this was like this. I made it like this. And what I am doing is I am putting it, sliding it around and connecting it. And now this thing got tightened. And essentially you connected step 1. Now on the other side here, there is no guiding pin here, right? So you can rotate it, right? So for now, let's just put it like this. You can also rotate this thing, so it's definitely possible. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping it like this just for my sanity, right? Notice like this. and I'm putting this inside this hole here, the circle hole here, right? Okay, next I'm going to turn it around like this just to make my life easier, so that this thing can go inside this pin. So I rotated it, put it inside, and now locked it in. Right? Little bit confusing, but just imagine this thing is rotatable. So putting this spring pin inside is the first goal. Once you do it, everything else becomes very, very easy. Same I'm going to do the other side. Let me bring the other one. So once I notice this thing says B here, right? So once again, the guiding pin will go here. So you don't want it to do it like this, because if you notice here, there is no guiding pin. So, Viti, can you please go side? Yes, okay. So this guiding pin here, right next to the spring pin, that is why I am putting it in the B. And notice what I am going to do. I am going to rotate it so that this semicircle hole goes towards this guiding pin. And this spring pin automatically matches it. I am going to slide it in. Okay, it went inside, and this, if you notice the hole here, its spring went inside. Next I am going to rotate this. I am going to connect it like this, and then I am going to lock it in. And now same on the other side. This time on the A side, there is essentially no guiding pin, right? So it's not that difficult for you, right? So what all you need to do is put the spring pin inside this thing, rotate it like this, and lock it. And now if you notice, this thing is set up like this. Okay. To put the mattress on top, and mattress is heavy enough where it will lock this thing in. Now in my case I do have like a one base, but I want it height a little bit higher, so I am doing this because my bed is 2 mattresses. So for it's easy, but you might want to just place it on the frame itself. So I'm going to put the mattress on top here. Next you want to pull the straps, and if you look at here in the bottom, there is like a locking tab here. Right, so once you pull it tightly enough, you want to lock it in place so it does not fall. Right, this is important, right? You can unlock it and double check and do it for your own safety, but just pull it really, really tightly and then lock it. And same you are going to do on this one here as well. I'm going to essentially just pull it and do it once, but I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to pull it really, really tightly, and then I'm going to lock it in. Right, essentially this is what you want to do. This is important. Okay, and now this thing is kind of ready. So now this thing is set up, and my daughter, if she climbs up, she won't fall when she is sleeping, right? But now what you want to keep it down, right? Because you don't want to keep it up the whole time. So notice this locking tabs. You want to unlock it, and you want to unlock it here, and then you can just slide it down like this, right? And depending on the height of your bed, you might want to adjust it, but essentially it will go down, and that's it. Now it will stay down. And when you are ready, once again bring it up here and lock it in place. Notice how it was locked in. Now when you are sleeping, or let's say sometimes my daughter sleeps with us, right? So now when we wake up in the morning, she is sleeping here. We are not afraid about her rolling down. Also notice we have this bad stance, right? So there are some edges and stuff like that. So one thing is we can move it a little bit ahead here like this. That means once again we know that she won't roll down and get hurt with the edges. So a lot of different options here, and set this whole thing up and have it ready. Okay, thank you.